welcome everyone. We're here in Carlsbad tonight. The Cavemen hosting your Hobbs Eagles for the last regular season district game, and 48-24 final for the JV. The Carlsbad squad winning that one by 24 points. Just got done as we speak. So we'll have the warm-ups for the varsity here in just a minute, and then we'll get the pregame show started. On the line tonight, if Hobbs wins this game, the varsity game, they will be tied with Carlsbad in the top of the standings for the district. They'll have a pre-playoff game on Monday. That's already been set for Clovis if that game does have to happen. They were going to do Artesia, of course. There's a new rule in the district, though. You have to play your pre-playoff games on a district floor, and Clovis is the one they have chosen to go with. Roswell was an option, but of course there's some incidents there this last couple games, so they decided to keep that at Clovis. That's not a set game yet. Hobbs has to win tonight first. It doesn't matter what the point spread is to get into that situation for a chance at the regular district crown, and we'll talk more about that in the pregame show. I'll turn over to Ron as Hobbs and Carlsbad get ready to play here in just a few minutes.
All right, just getting underway. We're about to, of course, do our pregame show, but before we do that, let's talk about our sponsors. Lee County State Bank, Thriftway, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Robinson & Associates, Devon Energy, First American Bank, Eunice Pump and Supply, Lasco Construction, and NMR Pipeline. Without those fine sponsors, we would not be able to get this on the air for you and on the radio as well. Like I said, we got about 20 minutes to go. We're going to have the pregame show here pretty soon. So we're going to get our stats and everything together. Come back strong on, of course, all the stations. We've got KLEA. We've got Cool FM going on. We're also going to have the webpage, HobbsAmerica.com. You can find us in that. You can also find us under it's I had a brain fart there for a second. Anyway, you can find us on all of our usual suspects. You know, the Cool 95.7 Facebook page, and enjoy this game. I'll be bringing to you the coverage of it on the camera. So we've got a weird angle, but we're going to use it the best we can. Coming back live pretty soon. Stay with us.
Welcome, everyone, to Carlsbad. Time for Hobbs Eagle basketball. Live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, on the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner with you tonight. Back at the station, Tiffany Stuber, as your Hobbs Eagles in their final regular season district matchup with the Carlsbad Cavemen. And Ron, lots on the line tonight. If Hobbs wins this ball game, they will be in contention for a district crown, as they will get an opportunity to have one more game on Monday. They would play that game to see who would be the #1 seed at the district tournament, and that is what this game is all about tonight. Hobbs wins, they'll get that game on Monday. That would be in Clovis. They've already set that as the site if the game is needed. So both teams will have to travel quite a distance. Now, there's a new rule in the district, means that you have to play on a district floor if you have a pre-playoff game like that, or a tiebreaker, whatever you want to call it. So that's a situation. We know even the last couple of years we've had an Artesia court used for that, but this year they said it's got to be in the district. So they have gotten Clovis all scheduled for that. Of course, if Carlsbad wins this game after beating Hobbs once this season, 58-29, they've locked up the #1. Now, the question is, what's more important, regular season champs or the district tournament? Well, it actually regular season champs is, because you will be ahead of anybody in your district, no matter the record. If you're the #1 team in the regular season, you have to be higher than that other squad. So if Hobbs were to come in with the district tournament championship, Carlsbad would still be placed above them, whatever the rankings would be. There might be a big difference between the two rankings anyway, but if it's close, they still have to bump that one team that wins the regular season above the other. So this means a lot. Of course, the big deal here is, Ron, Hobbs got blown out last time, doubled up 58-29. So I think that's the revenge factor first, and then worry about the playoffs second.
Exactly, and according to Coach Reeves, he's saying that all the pressure is on the seniors for the Carlsbad Cavemen. They just came off that last victory, barely got it against Clovis, and they've been playing just enough to be able to get the district wins. In fact, they've been playing per game, 52.2 points per game is what they've been scoring. Meanwhile, Hobbs has come in, even though we just talked about the 29 points. They have been doing very well in the rest of the games, getting 69 points a game overall for district, and that is a plus side for them. They need to come out here strong against this Carlsbad defense and definitely make sure that they can just take over the tempo. And as we were also talking about just a moment ago, also drive the lane, make sure that they get some fouls, just dictate the whole thing basically is what they need to do from beginning to end. Sometimes we've noticed that Hobbs has a good, strong start, but the third quarter, fourth quarter, they kind of fall off a little bit. The game gets really close. Before you know it, your nails are out and they're being bitten, and we're wondering what happened to that first half Hobbs team. We're hoping that won't be a case, and again, if they do win, we're definitely going to be going up to Clovis on Monday to see if we can get the district title as well, because it does matter on the rankings for that.
Of course, Carlsbad has a tough defense on the season, not just district, but the season itself, only giving up 43 points a contest. So that tells you they will contest shots. Several of their games this year, they block 4 to 5 shots a game. So they'll get right up on top of you in the 3-point line and try to reject you. Last Tuesday night, of course, the Eagles picking off Roswell at home at Tasker, 79-75. Although Michael Mackey only scored 19, he came back to get those points basically by free throw shooting in the fourth quarter. He got 6 of 7 free throws to go down and finish with that 19. He was saddled with fouls, had 3 and then 4 in the third to fourth quarter, so he had to be sat on the bench a little bit there just not to get DQ'd out of that ball game, but still came back to be the top scorer with 19. But what the good part about this was, a couple other guys stepped up with double digits, combining for 32. Peyton Hodge was 17 off the bench, and Chris Archibald, one of the post players for the Eagles, he had 15. So definitely those two guys helping the cause out. And one of those games, the Eagles were in the lead for quite a bit of it, but then Roswell kind of screeched back into it. In fact, Hobbs up by as many as 17 in the second half, but win by 4.
Yeah, and it was one of those contests that Hobbs really didn't need. We were going to see what would happen if Mackey wasn't in the game as much as he could be, especially after that 51 points he scored on Clovis. We wanted to see if Hobbs could step up as a team to be able to get into it and make it a contest. And that's pretty much what happened. We got it what the doctor ordered. Basically, Mackey was out for the third quarter, most of the third quarter after being under 3 fouls. And Hobbs came up strong, was able to score without him. Of course, with him, they scored just as well, especially since he's one of the main contributors on the free throw line for the whole team. So we like to see him on the free throw line. We also like the fact that he is one of the few that actually goes ahead and challenges the defense, gets in the lane, tries to drive it, and shoot inside the paint. And we're just hoping for more of that. Also hoping to see a couple other people like Pena get hot, or maybe even Hodges, maybe he'll get hot as well, whether it be inside the lane or outside. We just want to make sure that we get some fouls drawn for us. One of our problems we've been having lately is just too many fouls against us and too many trips to the free throw line for other opponents.
Eagles shot 84% from the free throw line, so 11 of 13 in that ball game. Their opponent had a lot more free throw opportunities, but Eagles still get the win and definitely are on their way to try to get this regular season crown. Now, of course, these two teams met about a week and a half ago. Eagles losing at Tasker 58-29 in that ball game. Michael Mackey, 22 points, had 5 trays and was 5 of 8 from the free throw line, but really got no help in terms of bench scoring or at his other starters. Nobody else even close to double digits. Abraham Payne the next up with 4 points in that ball game. Very dismal free throw shooting, 6 of 16 for 37%. Only 11 turnovers, which isn't bad, well below their average of 17 a ball game, but still, the offensive production wasn't there. Ball was rimming out. It seemed like every other shot, and the lid just kind of staying tight on there. So this, again, they just want to rack it up and say, we'll forget about that. We have a new game tonight, and I expect to see a little bit more motivation with this game on the line for a #1 seed in the district tournament. That means you don't have to play on a Thursday for the semis. You go right to the championship and host the game. Otherwise, they're going to have to go tonight. They win here. They still got to play Mondays, too. So that's something they have to win first here tonight before they can move on to that #1 seed later on. The Hobbs Eagles, of course, I've been wondering all week what their team that they're going to be playing is going to look like. Of course, Carlsbad and Roswell got into kind of a bench-clearing brawl last week, and there was a question about how many players are going to be out with suspensions. Well, a lot of the players only served a 1-game suspension, and most of their starters, everybody, it looks like that we're seeing on the scorebook tonight, is in the game. Damian Perez, of course, he really lit the Eagles up with 3-point shooting in that last game at Tasker Arena. He chipped in 29 points, 9 trays in that game. He only had 1 basket outside of the perimeter in that contest. Everything else was 3-point shots. So he is definitely a force to be reckoned with. And when he's on, the team wins. When he's not on, the team loses, and that's just not an exaggeration. That's exactly how this team goes down. Exactly. So he's got to be a guy that the Eagles got to watch out. Other than him, not a lot of scoring on the rest of the squad against the Eagles the last time. Tylen Gonzalez dumped in 10, but other than that, everybody else was single digits. So Hobbs could put this team down. Their starters tonight, Evan Campos, Damian Perez, Devin McWright, Zach Barnes, and Tylen Gonzalez. Exact same roster we saw at Tasker.
Yeah, and the thing about Damian Perez is he is confident enough that he can shoot the ball anywhere and make it. And most of the times, it seemed like, especially against Hobbs, he was doing just that. It didn't matter where he was at. He would launch it, and it would just go in.
Get ready for tip-off and the announcements first. We'll take a quick 1-minute break. Your Hobbs Eagles in Carlsbad live here in Caveman Land. Back in, let's make it 90 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. A game with big implications here in Carlsbad tonight as your Hobbs Eagles take on the Carlsbad Cavemen. Carlsbad with the number 9 Max Preps poll seed right now. The Hobbs Eagles at number 12. Of course, 16 teams make it to the state tournament. Pretty much put your money on the fact both teams will be there. The question is, can the Eagles move up with a win tonight and a possible win at the district tournament next week, or actually the Monday game too at the pre-playoff if needed. So a couple games left in the schedule for the Eagles. This is the final regular season game as your Eagles come in with a 14-11 record at this point in time. Their opponents, the Carlsbad Cavemen, 18-7. Carlsbad averaging 55 points a game for the season, giving up only 43. Your Eagles with more points on the board, 61, 6 more than Carlsbad, but giving up 16 more points defensively at 59 versus 43 with Carlsbad. We already mentioned the starters for Carlsbad. I'll do it again just in case you missed it. Evan Campos, Damian Perez, Devin McWright, Zach Barnes, and Tylen Gonzalez. For your Hobbs Eagles, Michael Mackey, still the tops in the state in the 5A scoring column, 23.7 points a game, number 1 on the team in rebounds, 3.9, assists, 2.6, and steals at 2.4. Abraham Pena, who is the best three-point shooter on the squad. In fact, he has nailed 39 three-pointers this season. He's averaging 13 points a game. He'll be a starter as well. They've actually moved Hodge into the starting lineup tonight, and he's waited a few games to get back into that status. Now, they just turned the lights out here at the arena, so give us a second here. No chance to see what we're trying to talk about in this joint. So Peyton Hodge really showed something in that last game, crashing the boards, getting some points scored for the Eagles coming off the bench with double digits. He comes into the contest tonight in terms of scoring at 4.6 points a ball game and averaging 2.5 rebounds, and really kind of a spark plug for the Eagles in that usually a 6-man role, but tonight he is a starter. Jordan Chisholm, of course, one of the big boys for the Eagles at 4.3 points a game. Also averages 3.2 rebounds. Definitely need his body and physicality in the paint. And Chris Archibek, who likes to throw his frame around as well. He's averaging 3.3 a game and 3 rebounds a contest. Eagles come in shooting 46% from the field at the free throw line at 64%, and at the three-point arc at 32%. Eagles averaging 17.5 turnovers a game, but also getting 7.9 steals, so close to 8 a contest. So those are the numbers for your Eagles. And we've talked about this several times this season, Ron, in terms of the offense for Hobbs. When that perimeter passing game is working, you got to get cutters going to the basket. You got to get guys to get it down the lane to them on the both sides of the hoop. Sometimes that's not happening. If the offensive player backing into the defender, you can't see the floor. If Hobbs get turned around a little bit, I think you're going to start to see some good activity because we got some quick guys out there. We can just take advantage and then throw it outside for some three-point shots. We know Abraham can hit it. Pena definitely can stroke it from the outside. We should also mention, too, the freshman Braylon Vega. He's not starting tonight, but Vega currently sitting at second on the team with 24 trays. So a couple different looks we have from the outside.
Exactly, and what I like to see, or what I want to see, is some decisive decisions as far as getting inside the paint or being outside the paint and trying to get those trays. But also, of course, we also want to see them with their rebounds. The rebounds are going to be just as important as those shots. If they can't make them, they need to rebound and make sure they get the second chance points. That will be the difference in the game because this defense for Carlsbad will be always attacking. They'll be in the zone. It'll be a shifting zone, I'm sure it will be. And they're also going to be, of course, once they start passing on the offense, it'll be hard passes across the from one side to the other.
Since the game with the Eagles at Task Arena, Carlsbad won that one 58-29, but since then only single-digit wins over the last 3 district opponents. Clovis 48-40, Roswell in that brawl game 46-43, and then Clovis on Tuesday night 53-49. So teams are starting to look a little bit at Carlsbad and watching the big kid to make sure he's not just going to tank him wherever he feels like. Damian Perez, double teams, getting physical. That game against Roswell, lots of challenges on shots, physicality out there, bumping into people, extending the arms, and then towards the end it got to be kind of dirty at the final part of that ball game, not putting fingers at anybody in particular, but still teams are starting to realize, get more physical with Carlsbad and get them off their shooting from the outside.
Exactly. You slow down their prime players and you can actually make a game of it. Roswell did the same thing as well as Clovis, and if they can do it, Hobbs can definitely make a go of it and make the most out of that, and also try to see if they can get this victory out of the jaws of defeat.
Once again, Hobbs at 14-11, and for the Carlsbad Cavemen, sitting currently at 17-7. We got a Roswell / Artesia reffing crew on the court tonight. Carlsbad going to wear their white uniforms with blue numbers, and the Hobbs Eagles wearing their road unis, the black with white numbers and the gold trim.
Carlsbad on a 10-game winning streak right now.
And, of course, if they go to a pre-playoff game, we've had sweet and sour reaction with that, of course. I think in the last 2 years we won one and lost one, right, both in Artesia.
Exactly. We lost the last one. We won the one before. It was just 1 year difference. 2015, of course, Hobbs went all the way. 2016, Carlsbad actually went to the finals but lost to Rio Rancho.
Michael Mackey's going to jump up against Damian Perez, 2 top scorers, each for their individual teams. Mackey usually has a couple inches deficit against the jumpers for the other squads, and Perez will tip it in the backcourt in the hands of Evan Campos. Hands it back to Perez. He'll come across against Mackey on the dribble. Taking his time, comes through the time stripe, unloads to Campos, swings it down to the right corner to Barnes, drives baseline right, lost the ball, but it gets right in the corner, driving baseline and spinning and putting on the brakes is McWright. Returns it up top to Perez, who gets a screen, doesn't use it, backs out to the near left sideline. Waiting for a screen up top, gets that from Gonzalez to the right side, sliding towards Coach Reeves. Trying to alley-oop it back door to Gonzalez, comes down with it, misses a tip shot, tipping it around volleyball style and pulled down in the left wing by Perez for his first rebound. But a bad pass to the timeline. Mackey picks, goes to the rack, but gets his shot swatted, and that will be a block by Perez, picked up by Zach Barnes. Barnes in the front court on the right wing. Puts it back deep to the timeline, and holding it is Devin McWright. Hard dribble to the left elbow, continues down the lane, double clutch left glass, off the rim again. Mackey with the rebound for the Eagles in transition. Comes to the middle of the free throw line, kick out right to Hodge. Hodge will give it back to Mackey, top of the circle as he backs out against McWright. Over to left corner, to Pena, hands it off to behind him, and that was going for the Eagles to Chisholm. Chisholm to Mackey at the free throw line, fade shot in the paint off the back of the rim, no good. Underneath the hoop is Tyler Gonzalez for the rebound. Throws it ahead to Campos, right side of the lane, double team, throws a shot off balance, leading towards the rim and glass shot for 2. So Campos on the scoreboard first, it's 2-0 Carlsbad. Into the front court, Pena on the right wing. He's being guarded by McWright, drives corner and hands it off for the Eagles to Archibald. Bounce pass back door. Pena gets rejected going on the right side of the rim and pulled down by Zach Barnes. Outlet to the far sideline left to Perez. Down the lane left elbow, puts on the brakes. Good D by Hodge. Kicks right wing to Barnes for 3. Clinks off the rim. Pulled down by the Eagles on the near sideline in the hands of Chisholm. Up ahead to Pena. Jump stop. Shot from the free throw line off balance. Hits the back of the rim. Pulled down by Perez for his second rebound. He'll slow it down at the timeline against Hodge. Crossover move, stripped by Hodge. That'll be a second Carlsbad turnover. Hodge tries to lay it up, misses, gets swatted by Perez on the right side, and Mackey right behind him to tip it in for 2. Michael Mackey ties the score with 2 rebounds now and 2 points. Boy, when Perez went up for that slam, him and Hodge got tangled up out of bounds on the baseline, wide open for Mackey just to tip it in with 2.
And it's just amazing so far how this, of course, it's fast-paced so far.
Inbound to the timeline, brought across by Barnes, and of course, Hodge is going to come out there to defend him up. On the right wing, over to the side to Campos. Dumps it down the right elbow to Gonzalez. Cross court left to Perez in the left corner for 3 off the side of the rim. Long rebound for Mackey, his third. He's got a 2-on-3, comes down the lane, 1-2 and up. Sends it down the paint on the pass behind him to Campos, and they call the charge. So they're going to get the charge on Mackey. That'll be his first. Carlsbad fans pretty loud about the reaction on that one. First on Mackey, first team foul, and the second Eagle turnover. Still tied at 2-2 here in Caveman land. Perez will get a double team in the backcourt. Cross court right, backcourt steal to Campos. To Perez at the timeline, sails it back over to Campos on the yo-yo passing game. Now in the front court, right wing. High inbound to Gonzalez, gets it over the top of his head, taken away from the Eagles by Chisholm. Third Caveman turnover. To Mackey on the left wing for 3 out the front of the rim. Pulled down left block by Campos, his first rebound. Outlet to the far side to slow it down is Perez. Stop and go dribble, going through his legs on the crossover, and then sends it over the right wing to Campos. To the corner to McWright, make that Barnes. Up top to the big kid Gonzalez at 6'7". Over to left corner to Perez, the streak shooter. Guarded by Hodge, throws it down the lane. Barnes with a reverse layup left, stays on the rim for a second, no good. Rebound with a hook shot with his left hand. Tyler Gonzalez from the left block. Second rebound and first points for him. 4-2 Carlsbad. Hodge now in the front court against a 2-3 zone. You mentioned that in the pregame, Ron. Bounce pass to Mackey on the right wing. Stop and go, shot from 18, swish it through for Mackey from the right side. Mackey now with 4 points, all the Eagles scoring. We are tied at 4. Bounce pass to Campos near side, and the time stripe to Barnes. Crossover move, comes across the timeline against Mackey, and then slows it up. 4:10 left first quarter, we're tied at 4. Unloads to McWright left wing. Touch pass to Perez, left corner. Sliding up top of the arc with a pass over to Gonzalez. Send it right side. Ball tipped as it's going to Barnes. Good hands in the passing lane from Abraham Payne to knock it out to the Hobbs Eagle bench on the right sideline. It will be Carlsbad basketball, tied up at 4 with just under 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Inbounding will be McWright. Sends it up top. Campos dumps it in the middle of the paint to Gonzalez. Another hook shot off the right rim. Mackey gets his 3rd rebound, make it 4. He'll dribble into the front court for the Eagles. Sends it to Pena, right corner. Crossover move. Comes up top, looking for help, and finds Hodge up top for him. To the left corner, off the fingertips, intended for Chris Archibald. Hits it right into a bench player for the Hobbs, or for Carlsbad, out of bounds. And that'll be a turnover for the Eagles, their 3rd of the game. That was on the near sideline left. And now a substitution for Carlsbad. First of the game, Xavier Ruida coming in for the big kid, Tyler Gonzalez. So the Eagles, a little bit more challenging in terms of size now, as taking a seat is the 6'7" post player. Into the front court, a pass to Campos. Sends it over to right side, way outside the perimeter to Barnes. Cross court left to McWright. Send it back deep to Perez. Over to right wing to Barnes in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Mackey's trying to get a 5-second count, almost got it. Sails it over to Perez on the left wing. Good guard out there by the Eagles for Jordan Chisholm. Stand right with him, use up his dribble. Cross court right to Barnes. Guarded by Mackey, now picked up by Archibald. Drives the lane with a scoop shot left, no good. In the middle of the paint, the ball loose at the free throw line now. Picked up by McWright. Goes to the rack with a little windmill action and scores. He's fouled going up on the left side of the rim. Count the basket though. A chance for a 3-point play as they get the foul. McWright gets his first bucket and a rebound that time. As they charge the foul to the Eagles, Peyton Hodge, his first second team foul. Another sub for Coach Zumbrin as he checks in Samuel Gee, getting his first action at 6'3".
Mackey is already on the bench for a little rest.
First free throw coming. The only free throw for McWright is a swish. He's got 3 points. And Carlsbad has their biggest lead at 3, 7-4 here in the first quarter, 3 minutes remaining. Eagles get it across to Pena quickly on the right wing. Handoff in the right corner to Archibald. Bad pass in the paint, taken away by Perez for the Eagles' 4th turnover. He'll bring it to the front court, stop and go as Hodge will slide with him. One hands it off to the right wing to Barnes in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench right side. Waiting for a screen, not going to get it. Coming to get the ball instead of the screen was Ruida, right top of the arc. Gives off right side, a spin move for Gee. Backs into the corner, up the near sideline, and back to the timeline to Barnes. Stepping out on defense for the Eagles, Braylon Vega, who just checked in. Unloads the pass to Perez on the left wing. Dump pass left corner. Dropping it for a minute as McWright drives the rack. Shot from the left block. Off the back of the rim. Pulled down underneath. And a rebounding foul for Carlsbad over the back. Getting good position was Chisholm. His 2nd board. And he'll get the foul on the Carlsbad cavemen. Pushing from the backside that time. That will be the first on Carlsbad as we're waiting to see the number on that one. Scores table trying to get the referee's attention as they couldn't see the number from the distance that time. Still waiting to see who it's against. They're going to stop action again here. Yeah, 25 is who they call that on. That's Xavier Ruida's first. Eagle basketball down by 3. 2-3 zone again for Carlsbad. Into Pena front court left wing. Hands it off behind him to Acosta, who just checked in. Back to Mackey on the near left side. Slides from left to right near the midcourt. Unloads over to the right side to Chisholm. Down the lane to Pena, double clutch, lost the ball in the air, it's swatted and pulled down by Evan Campos. He sends it back door, scoop shot on the way, left side, scoring is McWright. He leads the Caveman with 5 points, and now a 5-point lead, the biggest of the game for Carlsbad, 9-4, 1:45 left, opening quarter. Pena in the front court, hands off in the right corner to Costa. Costa dumps it to Mackey, right block, turn around to fire Jay out the back of the rim. Ripped down in the middle of the paint for Carlsbad by Gee, his first rebound. Gives it out to the timeline to Perez. He'll bring it across with 1:30 remaining opening quarter. 5-point Carlsbad lead. Over to the right wing. Gets a screen for the big kid Gonzalez, who just checked in. To the left wing. Cross court right. Pass back to Gee for 3 and nails it. He faded away that time. The Eagles defense backs off. First tray of the ball game. And it's now an 8-point Carlsbad lead. 12-4. Coming across the timeline is Pena, top of the circle. Bounce pass to Mackey, same side left. He tips it down to the left corner, and getting pressure is Vega. Vega spins, or make that Costa to Vega right wing. Up top to Pena, hippity hop down the lane. Bounce pass underneath, double clutch, and rejected on the right side of the rim from behind Jordan Chisholm as he was swatted. It appeared to be by Devin McWright, and it will be Hobbs basketball underneath their hoop. Hodge a return for Vega. Hobbs down by 8, 12-4 with 56 seconds left, first quarter.
And so far, Hobbs is not matching up to the defense that Carlsbad has been presenting so far.
Hobbs on the right baseline underneath the hoop. His team trailing by 8. Waiting for somebody to get open here. Almost on the 5-second count. Puts it back on the left wing to Acosta. Hands off to Mackey, same side. As he'll pick up the defense of Barnes. Slings it over to Pena on the right wing. Defense backing up just a bit. Top of the arc. Gives it over to Hodge left side with 45 to the free throw line. Back to Mackey right wing. Jab step. Guarded closely by Campos. Fadeaway 3 off the side of the rim. And pulled down by Tyler Gonzalez, his 3rd rebound. Gives it back deep to Barnes with no defense on him yet until Hodge picks him up at the timeline. 30 seconds left in the quarter. Eagles by 8, or down by 8. Uses up his dribble, sends it right to Gee, who just hit a 3 a second ago. This one's going to be way off the back of the rim on the second try. And a rebounding foul as the big football player, Tyler Gonzalez, going over the back that time. Mackey trying to get position. So Gonzalez has picked up his first personal and the 2nd team foul against the blue and white. 21 seconds left, opening quarter. Your Eagles trail 12-4. Final regular season district game for both teams. Inbound to Pena in the backcourt. Carlsbad defense backing up. Zach Barnes will take on Pena. Over to Mackey on the right wing. To the right corner. Jab step coming for the Eagles. That was Chisholm. Chisholm returns to Pena on the right wing. Gets some pressure on top of him by Barnes. Double team now. Mackey will come from behind right wing to get the handoff. Gives it back to Pena right corner. Eagles getting trapped. Up top to Acosta. Fadeaway in the paint at the buzzer. It hits out the front of the rim and no good. So a fast-paced first quarter, 12-4. Eagles lead or trail by 8 against Carlsbad. We'll take a 60-second break and come back on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and on the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Welcome back to Carlsbad. Ty friend Ron Gunner, Tiffany Stuber with you tonight as your Hobbs Eagles trail Carlsbad. Final regular season district game, 12-4. In the first quarter of action, the leading scorer for Carlsbad, Devin McWright with 5, 3 for Samuel Gee, 2 apiece for Gonzalez and Campos, and all 4 of the points for the Hobbs Eagles for Michael Mackey. Eagles were out-rebounded 8-6 in the first quarter, had 4 turnovers, 3 for Carlsbad. Mackey gets the ball coming down the lane, up top to wide-open Pena for 3, off the back of the rim. Eagles cannot get it to drop through yet, and a rebound underneath for the big kid, Perez. He's got 3. One hands it across the timeline to Barnes, near side. Down to the corner to Campos right in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. And sends it back up top to Tyler Gonzalez. Taken away in the midair by Brian Acosta, but gets stripped at the other end. Turnovers both ways. 5 for Hobbs now, 4 for Carlsbad, and a timeout as Coach Summer does not want to see a back-to-back turnovers. Get kind of sloppy, Evan Campos, and the coach calls the time. We'll keep it right here, and not the best start for the Eagles in this one, Ron. Eagles is getting some scoring from Mackey, who's also the top rebounder with 4. Again, we got to get some step up from some of those other starters and some of the bench that comes in.
Exactly, and it's just like the last game, which as we trailed off, they were having trouble finding the basket in the second half. So far, Hobbs also having trouble struggling to get it through the hoop. I don't know exactly what they can do differently other than they've been selecting their shots. They've been a little more aggressive. They need to be more aggressive, get those foul calls as well. That would help. If anything else, if they can't make the shots, then at least get on the free throw line and get some points. No matter what they do, though, they need to be more aggressive, more decisive, and definitely get around that defense that Carlsbad's been presenting.
Coming back after a Carlsbad timeout, they lead by 8, 7:28 left second quarter. The inbound comes in the backcourt to Perez. He'll take on Hodge. Mackey in the game as well. Acosta. Also Chisholm. Pass down the lane, reverse layup, clinking off the front of the rim for McWright. Mackey with another rebound. That's his 5th of the ball game. He'll take the pass across the timeline to Pena, right wing, front court. Slowing it down the offense. Back deep to Mackey at the time stripe. as he's guarded by Barnes. Just kind of get Barnes to try to challenge him out there, not biting. Flicks it back to Pena, drives the left side of the free throw line, fadeaway Jay, and swishes it through. Getting a bucket for the Eagles, Abraham Pena. Now tit for tat. Coach Reeves going to call a strategy timeout, and we'll take one as well. 6:55 remaining second quarter. The Cavemen 12, your Hobbs Eagles 6. Back in 30 on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Your score here in Carlsbad as the Cavemen, the host squad, leading, doubling up on the Eagles at this point in the second quarter. As Abraham Pena finally getting a bucket for the Eagles. Mackey with 4, 2 for Abraham Pena. Also Roswell and Clovis, they've got a game remaining in the district as well. And Hobbs will be at least the number 2 seed, if not first in the district tournament, depending on the outcome of this game tonight. So they will at least have a Thursday semifinal, if not a championship game on Saturday to get the tournament moving next week. Carlsbad basketball coming across with it is Damian Perez, sends it to Barnes, but gets it back to Perez. Touch pass up top to Campos, drives the lane, goes back door to the post player, misses it, does Gonzalez, gets his own rebound, can't get it to drop on the right side of the rim, and then it's knocked out by Acosta. So not a lot of good touch there by Gonzalez. He gets a handle of the basketball, but just can't get it over the rim to put it through the net. And Coach Zummer's not going to have a lot of patience. He's going to bring the big 6'7" post kid out and bring in a brute DJ Moore. He's 6'3", and he is brawny out there. He's definitely got some good size on those shoulders. Inbound to the free throw line to Campos, to Perez in the left corner as Pena will stick with him like glue. He dribbles back to the timeline. One hands it over to the right side to McWright. Touch pass to the right wing once again, down to Campos. Gives it into that new sub. Underneath on the right side, Moore. Turnaround jumper and scores. Actually, that was Wright that got the bucket that time. That's 7 for him. The handoff at the last second by Moore to put Rick Wright right by the hoop on the right side. 14-6. It's an 8-point Carlsbad lead. In the front court, Hodge gets a pass on the right wing. Bouncer back to the timeline. Almost knocked in the backcourt. Picked up, though, by Pena. To Mackey on the right side. Jab step against McWright to the top of the arc. McWright comes up with him. Finds Acosta on the left side in front of the Carlsbad bench. Back to Mackey at the timeline. 5:52 left, second quarter. Eagles down by 8, 14-6. Mackey being held on to by McWright. Over to Hodge on the left wing. Up top to Pena. NBA 3 on the way overhand. Right in his face with that hand was McWright, and Pena still drills it through. First tray of the game for the Eagles. Pena now the leader with 5 points for the Eagles. 14-9, a 5-point Carlsbad lead. In the front court with the ball, Barnes on the near side right. Sends it over to the left wing. Open is McWright. Dumps it to the left block. Pivoting, Moore underneath, goes up strong with a double clutch and puts it over the left rim, count it. Moore with 2 points. 16-9, Carlsbad with 4 scores, just 2 for the Eagles. They trail by 7. Into the front court, Pena on the top of the arc, hands off to Hodge on the right wing. Bounce pass to the free throw line to Mackey, who spins, finds Pena on the right wing, stop and go, and lost the ball off his foot out of bounds on the far right sideline. Perez was stepping right in his traffic that time, and fumbled by Pena for the turnover. That will be number 6 on the Eagles.
An unfortunate event for the Eagles. They needed to get that possession to start up a good run.
Perez will get the inbound. He plays the point guard most of the time as he'll take on Hodge at the time stripe. He'll bring it across over to left wing to McWright. Coming out on him for the Eagles, getting his first action, Jairus Turbiatis. Swings it right side to Barnes. Dribbles down the lane. Gets the ball ripped out of his hands. Picked up by Perez in the right wing. He fades a shot from 18 right side, no good. Gets his own rebound on the left for his 4th rebound and sends it back deep to reset to McWright. Back to the timeline to Moore. Moore comes down the lane, runs over to Eagle Chisholm, but they don't call the foul. Picked up by Pena. That is the 5th Carlsbad turnover to Mackey on the left baseline, and Mackey tried to drive, and a man threw a hip at him that time. Mackey pushed him off, but after he was bodied up first, so they call the foul on Carlsbad. That should be on the floor, though, as they'll charge that one to the Cavemen. Zach Barnes, his first, 3rd team foul. Mackey did shove off, but it was after he had that original body contact.
Exactly. So, yeah, you call the first one. That was the right call by the ref, and Hobbs still maintains the ball.
Jairus Turbiatis trying to get the inbound in the left corner. Ball got knocked out before he had a chance to get a big grasp on it. as right in the passing lane was Perez on the left baseline to knock it out. Eagles just put 4 in the lane. Little square pattern here. Now moving out, Payne to the left corner, waiting for the ball in front of the Carlsbad bench. 4:27 left, second quarter. Eagles down by 7. Payne will get the inbound on the left side. Fakes a tray, drives to the free throw line. Dump pass down low to Turbiatis. Triple team on him, right block. Lost it in the lane. Taken away by Xavier Rueda. That'll be an Eagles 7th turnover, and then they foul on top of that. Reaching on the arm there in the paint was Jordan Chisholm, his first, 3rd team foul. So adding insult to injury, the turnover, then the foul.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Insult to injury, don't need that.
Once again, getting the inbound is Perez. Hodge will back up this time for the half-court D, and Payne looks like he wants a double team. Throws it across, does Perez over to McWright, left wing, returns back to the timeline to Perez. To the right side to Barnes in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. One hands it down to Perez in the corner, who hasn't been getting a lot of outside shots this game. Hodge with a hand in his face. Perez with a head fake, dribbles instead to the up top of the right wing. Goes to the rack now with a high arching Statue of Liberty shove over the top of the rim right side from that right block. Perez now with his first bucket, 2 points. At the other end, Eagles down by 9. To Hodge in the right wing, drives the lane, tries a push shot himself, got it rejected right back to him, gets his own rebound, and is able to pass it out to Pena on the left wing. Tamaki up top, gets a double team, dribbles behind his back, spinning at the free throw line, back to Hodge. Fumbled it, recovered it against Barnes. Goes over to Mackey right wing, returns up top to Hodge. Swing left to Pena. To Hodge at the top of the circle. Dribbles right. Comes down the lane with a scoop off the glass. Hits the front of the rim, no good. Turbiatis goes back up with it. Point blank range in the middle of the paint and puts it through. Little dumper over the top as Turbiatis in the books with his first bucket and his first rebound. 18-11. Eagles down by 7. Carlsbad going to throw the passing game around the perimeter. Barnes has it near right sideline in front of Coach Reeves. Dribbles up top. Taking on Pena. Stop with the brakes. Fires over to the left side. Not ready for it. Campos bounces off his chest out of bounds. Almost took his head off that time. And the Cavemen have just got their 6th turnover. Starting to see a little bit of momentum shift for the Eagles so they can just keep executing and making sure Carlsbad doesn't get some outside shots.
Yeah, this right there's still plenty of time. Just chip away at the lead and try to get into the half with a decent score.
Been down by as many as 9, 18-9, but now 18-11. Mackey with the ball, lost the handoff up top, able to recover against a 1-2-2 zone. On the right wing, crossover move, taking on McWright, throws a hip at him and a foul at the free throw line. So McWright will get the foul. That's his first and the 14th foul. So the Eagles starting to see some fouls coming now with the blue and white getting out of position. Eagles basketball on the right base or right sideline. They will inbound in front of the Carlsbad student section. Throwing it in for the Eagles, Braylon Vega, who just checked in. Back to Mackey. Chisholm on the court, Pena and Turbiatis. Mackey uses up his dribble, finds Vega on the right wing. Holds it for just a second against McWright. Sends it back deep to Pena. Have to track it back a little bit as he's guarded by Barnes. Over to the left side, pulled over to Chisholm. Chisholm tries to dump to Turbiatis, gets it stripped out of his hands on the left baseline. Almost getting the steal was Xavier Rueda, but he stepped on the line and kind of slapping at the ball afterwards. Thought he would like to have that one back. Eagles just dodge a bullet on a turnover there. It will be their ball on the right base. In the corner, quick inbound to Turbiatis, gives it to Chisholm at the top of the arc, over to Pena right side. He jabs, steps a couple of times, dribbles to the right side and hands off to Mackey. Still outside the perimeter. At the timeline now, picked up by McWright. Unloads to Pena on the right wing with 2:07 left in the half. Dribbles up top from right to left. 18-11 Carlsbad. Crossover move. Coming back to get his Chisholm up top to Mackey left wing. Fires up a 3 off the side of the rim. Pulled down hard by Perez. He starts to dribble himself. That's his 5th rebound of the first half. He'll take the dribble and takes on Payne at the time stripe. 1:48 left in the second. 18-11 Carlsbad. Gets the screen, drives right. He'll spot up an NBA 3 over Chisholm off the back of the rim. Pulled down at the top of the arc by McWright, though. Over to left side to Gee. Gee returns back deep to Perez as he backs it out against Chisholm. Crossover move, staying outside the circle. Cross left, cross right, shot from the right elbow, fade away, swish it. Damian Perez, a lot of movement with the basketball off the dribble. He's got 4 now, 20-11. 9-point Eagle deficit. Pass to Vega in the front court, left side, 3 on the way out the back of the rim. Pulled down by Pena, top of the circle, gets stripped, taken away by Carlsbad, and now they throw it ahead for a double hand dunk over the front of the rim by Perez. Perez with back-to-back buckets coming off a turnover that time. Eagles have turned it over 8 here in the first half. Perez now with 6 points and the biggest lead of the game for the Cavemen. Time out of the court for the Eagles. We will take a 30-second break live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Carlsbad on a little run here on their home court, 22-11. Their biggest lead of the ball game is 11. With Damian Perez getting back-to-back buckets, all 6 of his points here in the second quarter. He's been pretty much been handled by the Eagles defense, playing very tight against him. Hasn't had a lot of opportunities to shoot the tray like he did against the Eagles at Task Arena, where he hit 9. So he's had to work for his points so far, but Devin McWright stepped up with 7 here in the first half. Eagles 4 for Mackey. Pena leads with 5 and a bucket for Jairus Turbiatas. 1:07 remaining here in the second. Eagles down by 11. They'll have it in the backcourt. Defense will wait for him in the front side, a 1-2-2 zone. Hodge will bring it across, waiting for a screen from Jairus. Gets around the right wing. Chisholm gave him a screen as well. Hodge came down the lane and ran over his defender after he passed the ball over to the left corner to Vega. Ran over the top of 2 defenders that time. So Hodge will pick up the foul, his charge, second. 14th foul, and that'll be turnover number 9 for the Eagles. Clock under 1 minute remaining here in the second. Has slowed it up a little as Damian Perez against Hodge. Not quite across the time stripe. Stop and go. Cross over to his left hand. Gets a screen by Gee. To the left wing goes Perez. He wants to clear out. Coming out now is Turbiatas to guard him. Shuffling his feet. Perez at the top of the arc. Crossover. Shot from the left wing. 3-point fadeaway off the back of the rim. Battle for the rebound on the left side of the lane is Mackey for his sixth turnover. He comes down the lane with the runner off the back of the rim, no good. Gets another rebound for number 7. Ball loose in the timeline as Hodge tried to get the pass. Picked away by Perez. Goes back door and a scoop shot converted for Carlsbad. McWright now with 9 points. The Eagles 10th turnover. 24-11. Eagles' biggest deficit is 13. In the front court, Hodge on the right wing uses up his dribble. Sails the ball into the baseline over the head of Chisholm, out of bounds. And that'll be another turnover for the Eagles, which is number 11. Some tough pressure out there on that right wing by Devin McWright, causing that mistake.
Definitely, the mistakes are just mounting up for the Eagles.
6 seconds left in the half. Sub coming in for Carlsbad. As stepping on the court, Jeremiah Munoz, his first action, taking the place of Devin McWright. Perez is going to let the ball roll on the inbound, picks it up at the time stripe, guarded by Hodge with 4, 3, top of the circle, spun, and then stripped away by Hodge with 1 second, comes down the lane with the cradle, but he's not going to get the shot off quick enough, but a steal to end the first half, and showed up Perez a little bit, trying to globetrotter it and take away the basketball, almost had a chance to score on him as well. So Carlsbad will end up with 7 turnovers in the first half. They still have the big lead though, double digits over the Eagles, 24-11. We'll take a 3-minute break and come back with a halftime show on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and on the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. We're back at halftime here in Carlsbad. Your Hobbs Eagles and the Carlsbad Cavemen. Final regular season district game here on the line, and a possibility of a regular season crown for Carlsbad if they win this game. They lose. The Hobbs Eagles have a tiebreaker game on Monday in Clovis, but they have to get to that level first of all. Ron, so far in this game, the Eagles not doing themselves any help. They only got 3 scores in the book so far. Abraham Pena stepped up in the second quarter to get a couple of buckets. Was Mackey in the first quarter, and then Turbiatis got one coming off the bench, but everything else really not dropping for the Eagles. They've tried some three-point shots, not going through the hoop, although Hobbs was starting to get some foul calls there in the second quarter and driving to the hoop with penetration. But both teams only with 4 fouls, so foul trouble is not an issue either way right now.
Yeah, and I've seen some bad possessions for Hobbs. I've also seen some really good fouling from Carlsbad. They've had a couple of shooting opportunities for Hobbs, but it was cut off by a foul, and so that kind of dissuaded them. And unfortunately, since they're not in the bonus, they weren't able to get to the line. Nobody's gotten the line except for one time, and that was after a shot. But, you know, this game is going back and forth really quickly, and we thought it would favor Hobbs, but so far they have not been able to hit those baskets. And, of course, that means that since Carlsbad's hitting those baskets, it's favoring them. So no matter how fast they go, Carlsbad needs to be needs to be outscored, and Hobbs is so far unable to do anything about that.
Have seen some spark defensively for Peyton Hodge. He stripped Perez a couple of times, trying to put on a little dribble show there, and Hodge made him pay for it. Hobbs was able to, Hodge unable to convert on the layups at the other end because Carlsbad, even though when they get stripped, they're coming back to try to block your shot. They don't care if they come over your back or not. They're going to get revenge, and all the blocks they've had so far have been clean. Hobbs still got the possession back, but we're not converting the layups we need to. I'm not sure if we know who's coming behind us or what, but a couple of times you just need to put on the brakes. You're going to have somebody on your saddle pretty quick.
Exactly, and of course that'll really draw a fast foul for them. And unfortunately, though, Carlsbad has been very tenacious with their D. They've been very strong with it on both sides of the court, and Hobbs is just unable to have an answer so far. Maybe at halftime they'll make some adjustments and be able to get back in here and make it a different game. But so far, at the rate it's going, it's going to be a lopsided defeat again for the Hobbs Eagles, just like it was 2 weeks ago.
Of course, we mentioned Carlsbad's defense, one of the best in the state, only giving up 43 points a game. That's through the 25 they've played so far. So pretty stellar out there, but offensively averaging 55 a game. So they're kind of about below their average right now in this first half of action. So Eagles doing a pretty good job of keeping them at bay from the outside. Sam Gee got a 3-point shot, but other than that, no trays for Carlsbad. And I think they're doing a pretty decent job against Damian Perez. I mean, they've thrown more than one person at him. A couple of times we saw Chisholm out there. Turbiatis stepped up when he came on the court. Of course, Mackey's had a piece of him a few times, and Hodge, we mentioned, got a couple of steals off of him. So I think he's realizing this is not going to be the throw it from anywhere show that we saw at Tasker.
Well, I'm hoping so, although his percentage may not be as good here as it was in Hobbs. Still, though, yeah, you're right about that. Perez has not been too loud so far. We're hoping that will continue the trend.
Let's look at the numbers in the first half. Devin McBride actually the leader in scoring at this point. He's got 9 points, coming on 3 buckets, and also has a free throw, 4 buckets and a free throw. The only one to shot a free throw in this first half for either team. He's 1 for 1. Damian Perez has a total of 6 points, all 3 buckets coming in the second quarter for him. He's also the leading rebounder with 5 so far for the Cavemen. So 15 combined for McBride and Perez. Single digits for the rest of the team as well. Samuel Gee came off the bench for a tray. He's got 3 points and a rebound. A bucket apiece for DJ Moore, big bruiser in terms of subs coming off the bench. And Tylen Gonzalez, who's their 6'7" post, he has 2 points. He should have a lot more than that, though, Ron. He just didn't have the touch inside. And I saw Coach Zumbern getting him out of there and kind of trying to send a message to this big kid. Hey, you got the physicality, but you got to get the touch to get us some points underneath.
Yeah, and they do really well when he does well. But I've noticed from time to time, he gets under the basket, and he doesn't always hit his shots. He does get a couple of rebounds. He definitely gets his second chance points, but even then, sometimes he misses those shots. You know, I got a update for you from Hobbs. It is at halftime right now. Hobbs is leading 29-13 over the Cave Girls. Looking good for them so far.
Yeah, they will have a pre-playoff game, too. If the Hobbs girls can win that at Tasker, that will give them a chance to play for that game Monday to see who the number 1 seed at the district tournament is and the regular season champs. Finishing up Carlsbad's numbers, we mentioned Gonzalez only had 2 points, but he does have 4 rebounds, so he's second leader behind Damian Perez. They had 13 boards in the first half compared to 11 for the Eagles. 1 for 1 on the line, we mentioned already, and 7 turnovers in the first half for the Carlsbad Cavemen. For your Hobbs Eagles, single digits for the top 3 scorers so far. The only scorers, Abraham Pena, all 5 of his points in the second quarter. He has hit the only tray for the Eagles so far. Michael Mackey with 4 points and has the leading in terms of rebounding with 7 at this point. And Jairus Turbiatis came out the bench for a bucket and 1 rebound. So 11 points so far for the Eagles. And looking at the rebounds, we mentioned Mackey with 7 and Chisholm second with 2 rebounds. Hobbs with 11 turnovers, again 4 more than Carlsbad, who had 7 in the first half. Hobbs is yet to get to the free throw line, so no numbers on that as well. Eagles down by 8 at the end of 1, 12-4, and we're outscored 12-8 in the second quarter. Your score at the half one more time. It's the K-Men 24, your Hobbs Eagles 11. We'll take another 3 minutes and get you ready for second half action live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Get ready for second half action here in Carlsbad. The Hobbs Eagles trailing the Cavemen 24-11. That is the biggest lead of the game for Carlsbad. Now next week, of course, we will have any games the Eagles play in the district tournament. It could be Monday for a pre-playoff tiebreaker for the number 1 seed at the tournament and the regular season chance if the Eagles come back to win this one tonight. If that is not the case, they will play Thursday, and that will be more than likely against Roswell. If Roswell could beat Clovis on Tuesday night, that will be a home game for the Eagles at Tasker Arena. If they win that one Thursday, they would play Saturday here in Carlsbad. Now, if Hobbs were to win tonight and Monday, they would host the championship Saturday. That's been the schedule the last few years. By the way, the Monday game would be in Clovis. That is a new district policy or district team policy that all games for the pre-playoffs, the tiebreakers, must be on a district court. So Clovis is the chosen court on that. But we'll have to wait and see if that does happen. It's Carlsbad basketball to start the second half, up by 13. Prez with the basketball against Hodge. Slings it left, and Mackey gets a hand on it near the timeline. Almost got it away, but comes out the fingertips as Campos jump forward on the near left. And Coach Reeves was tasting a steal there, but also trying to say that Carlsbad touched it a second time and should have it for the Hobbs Eagles right in front of the referee, in front of the scores table there to lobby his case. Inbound to the backcourt for the Cavemen to Perez. He'll slow it up as Hodge will pick him up at the timeline. Just starting the third quarter. Stops before he gets to the line. Has to sail a pass over the right wing to Barnes. Had to come back for it. Now guarded by Pena. Top of the arc. Throws it left wing to McWright. In the paint to the middle of the free throw line to Gonzalez. Lost the ball but kicked it out at the last second to Barnes. Wide open for a three. Fadeaway. Hits the top of the backboard and pulled down by the Eagles on the right baseline. Good underhand pass to get rid of it by Archibald. Mackey at the other end going to the rack. Right side is fouled as he throws it up. Knocked to the floor. And got a hit from Perez that time. Counted for Mackey from the right baseline on the drive to the hoop. He's got 6 points. And that will put the foul on Perez, which will be his first. And the first team foul. Both teams only with 4 fouls in the first half. This is the first free throw for the Eagles in this ball game. Mackey on the season shooting 78%. Eagles came in at 64 as a team. 24-13's the score, and Mackey nails the free throw. So he's got 7 to lead the Eagles. A 10-point ball game, though, in favor of Carlsbad. Prez with the basketball, uses up his dribble. Cross court left to Campos. Back in the yo-yo passing game to Prez and to Campos, still behind the time stripe. Finds Perez, right wing, throws it up top. Spin move for McWright. Up to the left wing to Campos for 3 off the back of the rim. Mackey with the rebound, deep left corner for his 8th board. Outlet to the near side, Pena right. Comes around the perimeter in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Dish off to Chisholm right corner, back deep to Mackey. He's guarded by Barnes, slides right to left, crossover to the right side, and gives it back to Pena right wing. Jab step to Mackey on the right elbow with the pivot. Up top to Hodge, NBA 3 off the back of the rim, no good. And down on the right baseline for the board is Carlsbad's Campos. Outlet to the time stripe, Perez to bring it across left side against Hodge, stop and go. Double team, fires up a 10-footer, bouncing around the rim, no good. Battle underneath, the big boy gets it. Gonzalez gets sandwiched on the baseline, and they're going to say Mackey touched it, as he went right between Archibald and Mackey that time. Nobody really got a hold of the basketball, so no rebound there, but they really battled Gonzalez hard, and he's the big 6'7" football bruiser. Dump it down to Perez on the left block on the inbound, kicks it up top, wide open Barnes for 3, and swishes it. Throws his fist in the air after the shot. Second tray of the game for Carlsbad. They now lead by 13, matching their biggest at the half. Mackey in the front court, 27-14, Carlsbad. Over to Hodge on the right side, fumbled it through his legs, able to recover in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. One hand bounce pass to Mackey, right elbow, back door to Chisholm. Got his shot swatted from behind, but they call the foul after the block as Campos got on top of it. There was a triple team underneath as they started to converge on Mackey and left the opening down low for Chisholm. Then they had the defenders converging on him. So Chisholm will get 2 free throws here as he comes into the game shooting 33% from the charity stripe. And, of course, Mackey 1 for 1 on the line as well. First shot for Chisholm is good. He'll get 1 more. They called the foul, as I said, against Campos, his first, second team foul on the K-men. That was the first point of the game for Jordan Chisholm. Hobbs now with 4 scorers and 6 for Carlsbad. Second shot is up. Chisholm gets a lot of air on top of that one and puts it through. He got them both. Chisholm now with 2, 27-16, an 11-point Carlsbad lead.
Hobbs taking advantage of those free throws.
Eagles with a 3-2 trap pressure at the half line. Perez comes across, chucks it one hand to the left wing to Campos. He'll hold it against Mackey, the 2 number 10s battling. Sends it to the right wing to Barnes. Barnes dumps it to the right block, or corner make that to Perez. Crossover move. Takes Archibald to the baseline, throws up a 10-footer off the side of the rim, tipped around, and underneath the hoop is Chisholm for the rip-down rebound, his 3rd. Outlet across the court, right to Pena. Windmill layup on the right side, and taking a knee as he goes up in the air. The foul on Carlsbad. Ball came off the back of the rim. They get the foul on Barnes on the right side of the paint, his 2nd, 3rd team foul. Kind of a dangerous knee jet that time as took Perez kind of took Pena sideways up in the air. And he'll get 2 free throws out of this one. So Hobbs, like you mentioned at the half, Ron, are starting to take that to the rack and getting those foul calls they need. And that'll put him for 2 on the line. Pena with 5 points, make it 6 on the swish. And the Eagles currently at 4 for 4 from the charity stripe. And again, they were 84% back on Tuesday night in the win over Roswell.
Yeah, when they are concentrating and not having to worry about things outside, they can definitely make their shots. They definitely have been practicing. And it looked a little like he did a little bit of a Superman on the way up there.
Missed the second free throw. It's a 3-0 foul count. Rebound by Perez as he rips down his 6th board. Dribbles across the timeline to double team. Over to left wing to McWright. Into traffic with Hodge and Chisholm. Returns on the near side to Campos. Touch pass down to the left corner to McWright. Crossover to the baseline left. Tries to cross over in the paint. Lost the ball. Hodge on top of him. Turnaround hook shot. Air ball, but they call the foul. Hodge got a piece of it, and then they're going to say he came down on the arm. And the coaching staff for the Eagles have their arms up in the air. They call the foul on Hodge regardless. That will be his first team foul against the Eagles. And Coach Reeves going to have to go to his bench and bring in a sub to get Hodge out of there, I'm expecting. Actually, no, they come in for somebody else. See who that was that came in. Looks like Pena checked in. Hodge remains, oh no, we got sub staying at the table there. Hodge will come out, and that will be coming in for him, Vega. Had it right the first time. I thought there was a sub trying to get on the court. First free throw up and good. And put through by McWright. He's 2 for 2 and has 10. Misses the second, hard off the back of the rim, went high in the air. Pena comes down with it. That's his first rebound. Over to Mackey on the right wing. In the front court, returns to Pena left side. 5 minutes left in the third. Eagles down by 11 to Mackey at the free throw line. Double team, fade away from the left elbow off the dribble. Hits hard up the front of the rim, and a battle for it. Perez, and for the Eagles underneath too is Archibald. And now the official from the backside is going to overrule the call and say it was tipped out by Carlsbad. So Coach Reeves and the assistants, of course, Ross and Soria both helping out the official on that one. And it'll be Hobbs getting a sub in as well, seeing his first action in the varsity game. Caleb Lehman did see some time in JV. Eagles will stack 3 on the right side of the lane, inbounding. Right in front of them is Vega. Having some trouble finding somebody open. Finally gets it across court to Mackey in the left corner. Dribbles the left wing. And slides left, waiting for a screen from Archibald. Goes baseline, gets bumped into, no call. Returns left side again to Archibald. Up top to Vega. 3-shot, just barely misses left rim. Underneath the hoop is Gonzalez for his 5th rebound.
Yep.
Coming back to get it, a handoff to Campos, and he gets bodied up in the paint as the Eagles getting a little bit too tenacious on D. That's against Lehman with the hip foul, as Caleb Lehman picks up his second team foul. So Eagles have 2 consecutive fouls compared to the 3-0 start they had with Carlsbad starting out with the hatchet jobs.
Yeah, Lehman was a little too high in the air, landed on his opponent's back, got the foul.
Carlsbad will get it across the timeline with a couple of passes. The Eagles with a 2-guard trap. Cross court right to Barnes on the right wing. Dumps it in the paint, right block to Gonzalez. Fadeaway Jay with a hook shot, no good. And pulling it down underneath is Lehman. Gets the ball stripped out of his hands. His first rebound. Ball gets rolled out of bounds on the baseline. It will be Hobbs basketball. Now Carlsbad going to back up to the half-court D, as Lehman will get into Mackey, who has plenty of real estate to work with, but he bounces instead to Lehman. He'll bring it across the timeline on the near side right. Cross over to his left hand up top, flicks it over to Mackey. To the right wing, turns and fires an 18-footer, hard off the rim. One-hand pull down by Gonzalez, his 6th board for Carlsbad. Gives it off to Perez, who'll come across the timelines, weaving through traffic, stops, puts up a 3 at the top of the arc. No good. A battle for the rebound on the baseline. Lehman tries to save it, but he steps on the baseline. It'll go back to Carlsbad. Bring in some more big bodies on the court for Carlsbad. DJ Moore checking in for Gonzalez. We said Moore was 6'3", Gonzalez 6'4", but they both are beefy kids. And now it's a tall kid for the Eagles, checks on his second time tonight, Jairus Turbiantes, who does have a bucket from the first half. Eagles down by 11, 3:58 left, third quarter. Carlsbad will chuck it back to half court. Perez gets into the paint. Turn around for Moore, fades to the lefty reverse, and it drops off the glass in the hole for 2 and a foul. Moore kind of leaned his body to the glass that time. He's got 4 points. They'll count the bucket and get the foul of the Eagles. Looks like they'll charge that to Jordan Chisholm. That'll be the 3rd team foul, the 2nd on Chisholm. And the Eagles going to go to the bench and bring back Pena for Lehman. 30-17, 13-point lead. Now a big, tall post player for the Eagles, what they need right now. And that's Parker Henderson. Played some JV tonight as well. So he's going to put some of his brawn out on the court.
Yeah, Henderson scored 2 points in the last game. And this is the 4th trip for the line for the Carlsbad Cavemen.
So DJ Moore with a 30-17 lead and makes the free throw. He's got 5 points. 3:53 remaining in the third. Hobbs down by 14, their biggest deficit of the night here in the third. Mackey in the front court, over to Pena left wing. Turbiantes gets the handoff on the left sideline. Dumps into Mackey left elbow, free throw line, spins 180, finds Pena right corner, tries to throw up a late 3, and it's rejected by Perez to the wall from that right corner. As he saw Pena was getting set, he kind of waited a second and a little bit too long, and the ball went sailing to the wall. It'll be Hobbs basketball. Deep right corner on the baseline. Eagles will spread it across. They get into Parker Henderson, right elbow, the free throw line. He pivots, gives to Mackey near the Hobbs Eagle bench right. Drives with his left hand to the free throw line, backs out against McWright. Up top to Pena, swing it right to Vega. Up top to Pena again. NBA three on the way, off the back of the rim, tipped up high in the air, loose on the baseline, and Carlsbad crashes on it and knocked out of bounds. Coming off the chest of Samuel Gee, who had just checked in for the Cavemen. Hobbs once again on that right baseline, underneath their hoop. Vega gets it into Mackey, right corner, got shoved in the back by Devin McWright, and they get the foul call. As McWright will pick up his second 14th foul against Carlsbad, and Coach Zummern puts both arms up in the air, wanting to know what the call was. Well, you can just see that arm extension on that one. Vega will get into the left corner to Mackey. Mackey goes baseline underneath the hoop, double clutch, gets bodied up, and they're going to call the block foul, keep it on the floor. That gets Coach Reeves running out to the floor, turns around to his fans and puts his arms up in the air and says, why not a three-point play opportunity? They do get the foul there that time, as they'll charge that one to Samuel Gee. Definitely put a chest into him. First personal 15th foul, but it'll just be an inbound for the Eagles now on the left baseline. Trail by 14 with 3:18 remaining. Vega looking for somebody desperately, checks it back to Turbiatas left wing, hands off to Mackey, fakes an NBA three, gets a screen from Turbiatas. To Vega in the left corner, returns to Mackey left side, dribbles up top, and again to Vega on the left wing. 3:05 remaining in the third. Dangerous start of the timeline. Almost went through the legs of Payne. Able to seal it off, though, and keep it alive. Passes to Vega. Gets it back on the right wing in front of the Hobbs bench. Coaching staff telling the Eagles to spread it out and get some cutters. Turbiatas will step up. Top of the arc with screen for Pena. Crossover move to the right elbow. Pivots. Kicks it left wing to Vega. Up top to Pena. Swing it right to Mackey. Mackey from the Hobbs Eagle bench with 2:40. Drives with his left hand. Puts on the brakes. Right elbow. Leads and shoots out the back of the rim. Off the hands of Carlsbad, and again touching it was Gee. Eagle basketball. And they're having to kind of try to wedge their way in the little gaps here and there and get some kind of a low percentage shots in there. Good efforts, but not a lot of room to work with right now.
I know, and they don't have a lot of time to play with either.
Pena inbound to Henderson on the right wing. Hands off behind to Pena. Back to Henderson on the give and go, but throws it low. It's ripped away by DJ Moore for the Eagles' 12th turnover, but only their first turnover here in the second half. 31-17. Eagles down by 14. 2:20 left third. Perez in the front court. Crossover move, right wing. Cross court left with one hand to Barnes. Barnes will hold out there against Turbiatas in front of the Carlsbad bench. He'll swing it up top. Put it over to Moore. Over to the right wing, to McWright. Touch pass down to Perez in the right base. Flings it back left corner to Gee for three. In and out, no good. And Henderson comes down between two defenders on the right block for his first rebound. Outlet to the far left side to Pena to bring it across. Crossover move, jump stop, shot from the free throw line, right to the bottom of the net. Pena puts it through. He's got 8 now. 31-19. Eagles down by 12 with 1:45 left, third quarter. Very low-scoring game. We just hit the 50 total mark here in Carlsbad. Perez in the front court, and we got a screen, a hard one. It's going to be against the Cavemen. A football block. You can guarantee he plays some gridiron. DJ Moore has just picked up his first. The 16th foul against Carlsbad, and not a lot of patience for Coach Zumbert as he gets a quick sub on for him. Checking in is Xavier Rueda. 6 fouls against Carlsbad, 1 away from the bonus. Eagles definitely could afford to have some freebies there. They've been on 5 times tonight and made 4 for 58, or make it 80%. Payne with the inbound right wing, hands off to Okosa, who just checked in right side, up top to Mackey. A 3-2 zone for Carlsbad. To the left corner to Pena, fakes a 3, dribbles to the left elbow, throws up a shot and puts it through the hole. Pena starting to get on fire here in Carlsbad, back-to-back buckets. He's got 10 points, 5 in each half so far. Eagles down by 10. 31-21, 1:15 third. Across the timeline, a pass to Campos. Slides from right to left, kicks it right wing to Rueda, fires up a three-pointer, no good. Tipped in the air, rebound by Acosta underneath the hoop. Acosta sends it ahead to Mackey, 1-2 and up on the right side, through 2 defenders, laid off the glass and fouled from behind. Count the basket. So Mackey puts down his 9th point of the ball game, getting ready to make it double digits. And that will make it 31-23. The Eagles down by single digits now as they call the foul on DJ Moore. That's his second and the 17th foul.
Mackey's been averaging 30.4 in this district play, and so far he's living up to that. I'd like to see, though, some other people just go ahead and drive the lane and see if they can draw the foul.
Sorry, that was number 12 that gets the foul. Damian Perez picked it up, his second. Not Moore. Moore had just taken a seat. So Mackey on the line. We mentioned perfect 1-for-1. Shots up and swish for him. So Mackey now with 10 points, leading the scoring for the Eagles, actually tied with Pena, who's got 10 as well. 31-24, it's just a 7-point Eagle deficit now, coming back in the game with 50 seconds left third. Pass off to the right wing to Campos, bounce it down the right corner to Gee. Gee comes back up top, unloads to Gonzalez, the big post player. To Perez on the left wing, dumps it left base to McWright, guarded by Vega. Drives to the lane, hippity hop, fadeaway jumper off the back of the rim, tipped up in the air, and pulled down by Vega on the right block. Vega with his first rebound, up ahead to Mackey. 2-on-4 to the rack, scoop shot on the right side, and scores over the top of Gee. Mackey with 12 to lead the Eagles. 5-point game. The Eagles are not going to lead this place without causing a heart attack in caveman land. 31-26 with 20 left third quarter. Perez uses up his dribble in the front court. Sends it to the left wing to McWright. Down low to Gonzalez. Turnaround jumper in the left block. No good. Turbiatis rebound, but throws a bad pass in the paint in the backcourt. Right back to Carlsbad. To the right wing. To Campos. Swings it to Gee in the left corner. Fadeaway three out the side of the backboard. And Acosta comes down with the rebound. Tries to throw a half-court shot at the buzzer, but it's a little too late for the Eagles. But Hobbs coming screeching back into this ball game. We're down by as many as 14 in this third quarter. It's an 8 or make it a 5-point game now, trailing 31-26 to Carlsbad. We'll take a 1-minute break and come back on the live Hobbs Eagle broadcast. Back live here in Carlsbad. Ty friend Ron Gunner, Tiffany Stuber with us tonight as well. As your Hobbs Eagles now down by just 5, 31-26 as we start the fourth quarter. Carlsbad leader right now in scoring. Devin McWright, he's got 10. Only had 1 point though in the third quarter. Damian Perez did not score. He stays with 6. And 5 for DJ Moore. Your Hobbs Eagles have 2 double-digit scores already. Michael Mackey with 12 and Abraham Pena with 10. Eagles are now out-rebounding Carlsbad 19-18. They were trailing through 2 quarters of play before that. Hobbs basketball down by 5 to start the third. A bad pass at top of the arc. Stolen away by the K-men, and they land up on the left side of the hoop for Barnes. He's got 5. The Eagles down with 14 turnovers. Back to a 7-point game. Hobbs down 33-26. Pena in the front court. On the right wing against a 2-3 zone. Back deep to Vega. Returns to Pena right side. 2 Hobbs Eagle coaches up on the sideline trying to get something going. To Turbiatis left wing. Throws it up top and a bad pass again. Taken away by Devin McWright at 10 for Mackey. Turner number 15 to get it back to Perez with a dribble. He'll take on Mackey at the time stripe, leading by 7. One hands it off to the right wing to Barnes. Dump it low. Hook shot on the right glass for the big kid Gonzalez. He gets bodied up in a foul. Turbiatis and Acosta try to get top of him that time, but they bump him. And they call the foul on the Eagles. That'll be their 14th foul here in the second half. And that'll be charged to Turbiatis, his first. Coach Reeves calling a strategic timeout here, trying to get the Eagles in a quick transition game to get back in this contest. We'll keep it right here in Carlsbad. 7:09 left in the fourth. Eagles down by 7, 33-26. Ron, in that third quarter of action, Eagles outscoring Carlsbad 15-7. What do you say the turnaround was all about?
I think it was like we talked about in the pregame show. You slow down Devin and Damian Perez, and you get back into the game. Towards the end of the third quarter, Hobbs was making some great shots. They were doing some great defensive things as well. I think that brought them back in. I think they need to continue doing that to be able to get back into it. They chipped it down to 5, and they can still do that. Of course, they got plenty of time left. If they slow down Damian Perez, they get their shots when they need them. they can definitely come back, and definitely with the foul shots too, that helped as well.
Got to be careful on the lofty passes outside the perimeter over there. We have 2 turnovers to start the fourth quarter. We had a better thing going when we were penetrating the lane, getting some screens and going hard, backdoor cuts. That could probably get us back in this game, but a couple of turnovers like we started with on kind of lazy helium passes cost us there on those last 2 possessions. So we had a 7:09 left here in the fourth. The Eagles down by 7, 33-26. Again, the lead has been as big as 14 here in the second half as we come back to live action. Of course, we going to have to keep waiting to see who's going to win this thing, because if Carlsbad does, they will be the regular season champs. If not, they will have to play Monday against the Eagles in Clovis. And the winner of that game will be the number 1 seed at the district tournament again next week, the Saturday championship game. Tylen Gonzalez on the free throw line to shoot 2, and he swishes the first one. They're now 4 of 5 from the line for 80%. Not a lot of free throws in this contest. Tylen now with 3 points and 6 rebounds for the Cavemen.
Looks like there could be a possible tiebreaker for the Hobbs Lady Eagles as they're leading after the third quarter, 43-22 over the Cave Girls.
Of course, Carlsbad won that first game here in Carlsbad. 35-26, both free throws good for Gonzalez. Hobbs down by 9. Mackey will throw it across to Pena, right wing. Hands off to Acosta with a spin. Dumps it to Mackey on the right elbow. He pivots towards the defense and sends it to Vega left side. Up top to Mackey, fakes a 3. Drives the lane with the cradle, gets bumped backwards. No call. Throwing a hip at him is Gonzalez, but a rebound by Pena for the Eagles. He tries to give it over to Acosta on the right side. Looks like he gets banged into. The official has his hand open and stopped the game, but what was the call? Oh, look, he's pointing to the baseline. There's somebody bleeding possibly. He stopped the action. I thought there was going to be a call there, but maybe there was, Mackey looks like he's going to go off the court holding his left hip possibly, and he's going to have to take a seat. So maybe just an injury time there. Everybody's kind of wondering what the referee was going to spinning around, pointing. But it's going to be Hobbs basketball. Mackey on the left baseline to make it right baseline. Backdoor pass to Vega, left block. Kicks out left corner to Pena. Spots a 3, an air ball. And underneath the hoop for the rebound for Carlsbad. Just waiting for it was McWright, his third. Gives it out to Perez. And he'll take the dribble across Hodge through the timeline with 6:30 remaining. Eagles down by 9. Over to right wing to Barnes. Barnes dribbles up top, right to left, bounces it off to Campos left side, to Perez on the left base, swings it in the paint, turnaround jumper for McWright, air ball, might have been blocked, but tipped back up and in on the left block by Gonzalez. He's got 6 and 7 rebounds. 11-point Carlsbad lead with 6:12 remaining here in the fourth. Hodge into the front court as he takes on Barnes. Back deep to the timeline to Pena. To the right wing. Keeps his dribble alive. Stop and go. Hand off to Acosta right side. He spins. Uses up his dribble. Finds Hobbs at the top of the arc. Dribbles through traffic and lost the ball. Then tries to get it back. Reaches on an arm and gets the foul call. So that will be a turnover for the Eagles. Their 16th. The foul on Hodge. That'll make it his 4th. And the 15th foul. Acosta will take a seat. Lehman's going to check on for the Eagles. Hodge will take a seat as well, as returning for Hobbs will be Jordan Chisholm. 5:58 left, fourth quarter, 11-point Caveman lead, 37-26. Perez will take his time. Lehman will pick him up at the time stripe off the dribble. Unloads the ball to Barnes on the right wing, posting up Gonzalez in the right block. He's starting to come on, missed the shot, but went back up on the second effort and puts it through. Back-to-back buckets now for Gonzalez, 8 points and 8 rebounds. But his touch wasn't great at the beginning, but he followed up with it. 39-26 Carlsbad. Lehman in the front court, right wing in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Back deep to Pena at the time stripe. Back to Lehman on the left side. To free throw line. A spin for Vega. Up top to Lehman. Fires up a 3. In and out. No good. Rebound in the middle of the paint by McWright. His 4th board. Out west to Perez on the near side. He'll slow it down against Pena. To the time stripe. Dribbling through his legs. Cross over to the right wing. One hands it over to Barnes. Barnes guarded by Vega. Cross court left to Campos. A high one down to the left block to Perez. Spins, runs over his defender, falls to the floor. They don't call the travel. Instead throws it up top to Campos. Dodging a bullet. That should have been a turnover. Back to Perez at the time stripe. He'll back out against Lehman. Stop and go. Crossover to his left hand. Down the lane with the runner shot. Bouncing out the back of the rim. No good. Chased down at the free throw line for Vega for the Eagles. His 2nd rebound. 2 on 3. Tries to take it to the rack right side of the lane. The defender throws his shoulder at him. Ball gets knocked out. Rolls to the baseline, and there's no call. Now we got a foul late on the play. And it looks like they might have charged Evan Campos with the foul. That would be his 2nd light call on the baseline that time, as he got banged up as about halfway through the paint and then takes a tumble on the floor. Ball came squirting out, and Coach Reeves out on the court now.
Yeah, Vega looks like he's in a little bit of pain.
So that'll be the second on Campos, the 18th foul. That's not going to be a shooting foul. It's very late on the baseline there. As you mentioned, Vega's going to be helped off the court. 39-26, a 13-point Carlsbad lead with 4:45 remaining here in the fourth. The final regular season district game on the schedule. As Michael Mackey will return for the Eagles. He went down a few minutes ago, Ron, with that looked like a back or left hip injury.
Yep, and that's definitely not what you want to see right now is Mackey being out. Well, he's coming back, so he's good. Still, though, 8-0 run for Carlsbad so far. Not how, definitely not how Hobbs wanted to play this one in the fourth quarter.
It wasn't a shooting foul, but it was a bonus, so number 8 foul against Carlsbad. Mackey subbed in for Vega, the guy that had the basketball before going out with the injury, but Mackey will be the sub, so he will have to shoot, but good person to shoot 2 for 2 right now. He leads the Eagles with 12, 10 for Abraham Pena. Only been 4 scores in this game, 12 and 10, and then you got 2 for Turbiatis and 2 for Chisholm on 2 free throws. One of the officials getting some words from Coach Zumbra now for the Carlsbad Cavemen. Want to know about the call. I think he was more concerned about how late the call was on the baseline. That I don't know if he's really concerned about the actual contact or not. Coach Reeves is going to have his say, too, with a big grin on his face as the two coaches staring each other down on the sideline. So Mackey on the stripe. Yet to score in this fourth quarter. Again, has 12 points, 3 for 3 on the line. Make it 2 for 2. Taking some time, and the shot's up and in and out, no good. Pulled down underneath by Perez. That's going to be his 7th rebound of the game. Make it, 7. Throws it across the timeline to the right wing to Barnes. Clock to 4:35 remaining. Eagles down by 13. Dribbles up top. Unloads to Campos on the left wing in front of the Carlsbad bench. Touch pass left corner to McWright. Throws it in the lane, but taken away for the Eagles. Nice rip by Chisholm. And that'll be turnover number 8 for the blue and white. Up ahead to Pena on the right wing in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Back deep to Mackey with 4:18. Left side to Hodge. Drives the left elbow. Shot on the way. Out the back of the rim. Loose on the right left baseline. Pulled down by Campos. 3rd rebound for him for the Cavemen. 39-26. Slowing down the ball as he comes across the timeline is Barnes. Gives the ball off to McWright on the left wing. Touch pass to Perez, left corner against Mackey. Sliding right. Bumps into Mackey. Turns. Fadeaway jumper left corner from 18. Hard off the rim. Bouncing around 2 or 3 times. No good. Turbiatis on the left block for the rebound for the Eagles. Outlets left. His 3rd board. Finds Pena. Drives to the free throw line. Comes across the right circle. Handed off to Mackey. NBA 3 on the way. Hits the side of the iron to the top of the backboard. Underneath the hoop is Gonzalez for his 9th rebound for the Cavemen. Sends it ahead. Right back door to Barnes. Gives it off the left side. Laying high off the glass with a 2 is McWright on the layup. 12 points for McWright. 3:27 remaining in the game. Eagles down by 15. Their biggest deficit of the contest. Mackey will bring it across now. Gives it off to Pena, right wing. Fakes an NBA 3. Hands off instead to Chisholm. To Mackey on the right elbow. Jab step against 3 defenders. Leads and shoots to the rack and scores. Mackey now with 14 to lead the Eagles. 41-28. Coach Reeves calls a timeout. 3:10 remaining in the game. Hobbs trailing by 13. We'll take a quick 30-second break and come back with more action on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, on the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Back live here in Carlsbad, a very low-scoring affair, just 69 points on the scoreboard, 41-28 in favor of Carlsbad. Last time these two teams played at Tasker, Carlsbad with 58 points. They're 17 below that right now, but the Eagles are 1 point behind the 29 they had at Tasker, but a lot closer game this time around, let's face it.
Yeah, it is, and still, though, it's looking like it's going to be scrapping, or the Hobbs Eagles are going to have to scrap to get into this, and I'm hoping they will because they just had a good time out. Make the most of it, get back into the scoring. That was their first score they had in this quarter, and that's the reason why they're down by 15, or at least they were down by 15. And Hobbs just needs to get back into this, get a little emotional into it as far as they just need to play the best and see what they can do.
Not a lot of free throws in this game either. Carlsbad 5 of 6 for 83%. Hobbs Eagles 5 of 7 for 71%. So a total of 13 free throws in the game so far. 3:08 remaining in the fourth. It's going to be Carlsbad basketball up by 13. Press in the front court with a very determined Hodge. On is the defender. Gives the ball off to Campos on the left wing in front of Coach Zumbrin. Dribbles up top against Chisholm. Underhands it. Dangerous attempt there to McWright. He's able to come down with it. They call the hand check on the hip there by Mackey. Mackey only his second personal. That is the 6th team foul, though. Carlsbad one away from the bonus. It will be on the far right sideline. 41-28, Cavemen, 2:53 left in the game. Inbounding on the right side will be Devin McWright in the front court. Mackey's trying to swipe at the inbound, gets it in to Campos, hands it back off to McWright, drives the lane left side, reverse, rejected by Mackey. He'll take off with the dribble on a 3-on-3, one hippity hop move down the lane, throws up a shot over the front of the rim and puts it through. Mackey with 4 in the fourth and 16 overall to lead the Eagles. It's an 11-point deficit for Hobbs. 41-30. Stop and go dribble in the backcourt for Barnes. Coming across against Pena. Pivots, spins left, back light, and gives the ball off left wing to McWright. Posting up the big kid, Gonzalez with a hook shot in the paint and scores. Gonzalez has scored 8 in the fourth quarter, 10 overall. 43-30. Hobbs down by 13. Hodge in the front court, top of the arc. Guarded by McWright. Bounce pass to Mackey. Top of the arc, fadeaway Jay from the left, elbow. Off the side of the rim, no good. On the baseline for the rebound, left side, Campos, his fourth. Throws it ahead in the lane, Perez, scoop shot from the left side block and scores. The finger roll for Perez, he's only got 8 though, 45-30. 15-point Carlsbad lead. Hodge in the front court, finds Chisholm right side. To Mackey on the right elbow, tries a paint. Tries to go for the double clutch, gets through 2 defenders and is fouled from behind. Campos and Gonzalez converge on him that time. Able to kind of get up underneath the arms to get the foul on Campos. That will be his 3rd, and the 19th foul will be a 1-on-1. Making a double shot here with a shooting foul for Mackey. Mackey currently on the line is 2 for 3 for 66%. Hobbs as a team is 5 of 7 for 71%.
Do you believe in irony? Because this is ironic. The final score for the Hobbs Eagles, 59-28.
Close to what the boys' score was the first time at Task Arena. First free throw, hard off the front of the rim for Mackey, not able to get it to drop. He's had all 4 of the Hobbs Eagle points here, or make it all 4 out of 6 in the fourth quarter. Chisholm hit 2 for 2 on the line, and the 2 buckets for Mackey. He's trying to make it 5 with another point here, and go to 17 overall with a made free throw. Second shot is ringed out, no good. On the right baseline to pick it up is Perez. He's got 8 rebounds now. He'll take his time with the dribble against Hodge. Right side of the mid-stripe. One hand bounce pass to the wing to Barnes right side. He'll dribble up top. Gives it off left side to Campos. Into Perez, free throw line. Kick out right wing for 3 for Campos. Fade away, no good off the rim. Gonzalez with 2 hands goes up strong using his physicality. The 6'7" post puts it over the iron for 2. 10 points for him in the fourth and 12 overall for Gonzalez. It's now 47-30. He also has 10 rebounds for a double-double. Mackey will get the ball on the left wing. Gives it behind him to Pena. Pena with the jab step, dribbles to the free throw line, then slings it over to Hodge on the right side. Up top, bounce to Mackey, middle of the free throw line, turns and fires a fadeaway Jay, and gets it to drop. Mackey was 6 in the fourth, 18 overall to lead the Eagles. In fact, he leads both teams in scoring right now, and a timeout on the court. Coach Reeves is giving an earful to one of the referees right now. 58 seconds left in the fourth. We'll take a quick 30-second break. Carlsbad 47, your Hobbs Eagles 32. Stay with us live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Heading toward the end of the fourth quarter here in Carlsbad. Ty friend Ron Gunner, Tiffany Stuber with you. Your Hobbs Eagles trailing by 15, 47-32. 58 seconds left here for the final regular season district game. If Carlsbad holds on to win this one, they will be the #1 seed at the district tournament, which means they would host Saturday. More than likely the Hobbs Eagles, who do have to play a Thursday matchup with Roswell for the semifinals of the tourney.
Well, provided Roswell wins and beats Clovis.
Correct. That'll be a Tuesday night game between those two in Roswell. Inbounding will be Perez on the right baseline. Backcourt, gets it and throws it into Campos, gets it back. And now back to Campos deep, guarded by Hodge now. Slings it over the timeline to the left side of Campos with 48 seconds. And Coach Zumbred called a timeout from behind here, the referee, on the left side. And not sure what he's doing this for because you just run the clock, game over, but not trying to get any subs in here, which you would think he might be bringing some bench people in for some experience. In fact, Carlsbad added a whole ton of players on their roster for this game. An extra 4 people hit the roster compared to the last time they played at Tasker Arena. Hobbs has added a few since the end of the ninth grade and other seasons there, so Hobbs has added a few subs, but not a lot of three-point shots tonight, Ron. 2 converted for the Eagles, just 1 for Carlsbad. We know Perez can shoot the trays. Hobbs not getting a lot of opportunities from 3 land. We know we had the top shooter from that distance, of course, Pena, and he did get the 1 3-point shot converted for the Eagles. Mackey hasn't got one yet, and Hobbs has only had 3 scores at this point. We mentioned 18 for Mackey, 10 for Pena, and 2 for Turbiatis. Also 4 scores, a couple of free throws for Jordan Chisholm. So far, Carlsbad was 6 in the books in terms of scores. 40. Comes across the timeline off the dribble, behind his back. Mackey slides with him right. Hand off to Barnes. Gives it back to Perez on the right wing. Again to Barnes. Throws it up high in the air. Barnes would come down with it. Hunches over the basketball. Dribbles right now, left on the zigzag. Unloads to McWright in front of the Carlsbad bench left. Dribbles up top. Stop and go to the right wing. Start the bus chant from the Carlsbad fans here, the student section, to Perez on the right wing. He tries to cup and go with it, and they call the grab from behind to stop the clock. It will be a bonus for Carlsbad. That'll be the 7th foul.
It's a good idea. Start the bus because it is cold outside.
Michael Mackey picked up his 3rd personal. As we'll see Perez step up, he's yet to shoot a free throw in this ball game. They are 5 of 6 from the charity stripe for 83%. Only missed 1 free throw so far. First shot for Perez is a swish. He'll get 1 more. Definitely not one of his biggest offensive production nights with just 9. Again, he had the big scoring against the Eagles the last time with those 9 trays at Tasker Arena with 29 points. Second shot's a swish as well for Perez. It looks like they're bringing a whole new lineup, at least 4 players coming in for Carlsbad. And that will include, if I can get them all in here quick enough, Jeremiah Munoz, Cryan Orgain. Who else we got out there? It looks like Xavier Onciras is checked in. Damian Perez. That's another no, that's the old Damian Perez. I think they've changed his number to something else now, another kid in there. And also believe another 21 coming in now. That's Dylan Palmer. And for your Hobbs Eagles, who've seen some action already tonight, Parker Henderson steps up. Turbiatis stays on the floor. Pena, Mackey. And inbounding on the baseline of the backcourt will be Hodge. 2-3 zone for the Caveman with the last 20 seconds of this ball game. Mackey will bring it across the time stripe. Pops up a 3 from the right side, high off the back of the rim. Loose on that right baseline and chased down for Carlsbad is Xavier Onciras. Gives it back deep, spin move, and lost the basketball as Chavarria. Gets through traffic, though, unloads to the near wing to Dylan Palmer left side with 1 second. That'll run out the clock here in Carlsbad. The Cavemen have won this one 49-32. Final score winning by 17 here at Caveman Gym in Carlsbad. That means the Cavemen will have the regular season crown and improve their record to 19-7 on the season. The Eagles will be the number 2 seed at the district tournament next week and will drop to 14-12. Basically, that means there will be no pre-playoff game, no tiebreaker Monday. That's right. Roswell will probably be playing at home against Clovis Tuesday. The winner of that game plays the Eagles. Hobbs will be at home Thursday night at Tasker. Championship game on Saturday here in Carlsbad. Again, 49-32 win for the Cavemen. Coming back in 3 minutes with a post-game show on the Hobbs Eagle Network. We're back live in Carlsbad. Ty, friend Ron Gunner, Tiffany Stuber with you tonight. Your Eagles losing their final regular season district game to Carlsbad, 49-32. They will drop to a second loss in district, the second seed of the tournament next week, district tournament, and that'll be a Thursday semifinal matchup, more than likely with Roswell, possibly Clovis, though, and then play Carlsbad next Saturday here at Carlsbad Gym for the district championship. With that regular season win, that means Carlsbad cannot be placed any lower in the seeding for the state tournament. So if Hobbs would come back and win the district tournament, that does not mean that they would be above them. They'd have to be at least below them in some capacity. It doesn't have to be right below them, but higher up on the seeding for the winning team tonight in this one. 17-point victory, of course, a little bit better than what we saw the last time the two teams played, a 29-point win for Carlsbad. And let's take a look at the numbers in this game. First for the Cavemen. Nothing really jumps out on paper, although they did have 3 in double digits in this game. But the big scoring and double threat out there was Tylen Gonzalez. He ended up with a double-double, 12 points and 10 rebounds. In fact, 10 of those points coming in the fourth quarter. He really came on strong in the second half of this game. And again, not the best touch out there for a big man. He did get a lot of rebounds at 10, but at the same time was not always scoring on the first tip. He had to go up a couple of times, but still getting the job done with that double-double. Devin McWright finished with 12 points and 4 rebounds. He went 2 of 3 from the line. Should mention Gonzalez, going back to him, he was perfect, 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. And Damian Perez finishing with 10 points. He was perfect on the line as well, 2 for 2, and also second in rebounding with 8. So 3 double digits for 34 total. Again, Gonzalez, McWright, and Perez. And on down the list for the scoring, a couple guys getting 5. Zach Barnes, he had a tray in the game and 1 rebound. DJ Moore coming off the bench for 5 points, 1-for-1 free throw shooting. Also a tray for Samuel Gee. They only converted 2 trays in this game for Carlsbad. Evan Campos hit a bucket for 2. He also had 4 rebounds. They had a total of 7 scores for the Cavemen, and almost perfect on the charity stripe, just missed 1. 7 of 8 from the line for 87%. Single digits in turnovers as well, just had 8 compared to 16 for the Eagles. So Hobbs had double the number of turnovers in this game. Carlsbad also out-rebounded Hobbs 27-22. Again, 10 for Gonzalez, 8 for Perez, and 4 apiece for Campos and McWright. On the Hobbs Eagles side of the coin, they had 2 in double figures. Michael Mackey finishing with 18 points. In terms of free throws, he was 2 of 5 from the charity stripe and had 8 rebounds to lead the team on the glass and in scoring, as we mentioned. Abraham Pena second with 10 points. He was 1 of 2 from the line, had the only tray in the ball game for the Eagles. After that, though, it got a little low in scoring for the rest of the team. Jordan Chisholm, 2 for 2 on the line for 2 points. And Jairus Turbiatis, 2 points. He also had 3 rebounds. So definitely getting some glass coming off the bench for the Eagles. Should mention Chisholm with 3 boards. Chris Archibald didn't score, got a board. Caleb Lehman came off the bench for 1 rebound. And Braylon Vega had 2 boards for the Eagles. So only 4 guys getting in the books, 2 of those in double figures. Hobbs shooting 5 of 9 from the charity stripe for 55%. We mentioned they were out-rebounded 27-22, and the leader was Mackey with 8 and 3 apiece for Chisholm and Turbiatis. Hobbs 11 turnovers, 8 for the Carlsbad Cavemen. Now, Hobbs did outscore Carlsbad 15-7 in the third quarter and got it as close as 5 points in the fourth, but then that fourth quarter as it drug along, Carlsbad taking the driver's seat once again, outscoring the Eagles 18-6 to close out the 17-point win.
Yeah, well, when you start with a 10-0 run, Carlsbad did in the fourth quarter, that really strains the attempt of trying to win a game for the Hobbs Eagles. But this is, for better or worse, I mean, we can hang the hat on this. This is only the second time that Carlsbad has swept us in district. The last time it happened 2 years ago. Also, coincidentally, it was the lowest score, 49 points, which was done 2 years ago as well in this very stadium. But, you know, it doesn't matter if you score 49 points, 39 points. As long as you score more than your opponent, you win the game, of course. And unfortunately, Hobbs having to go ahead and learn from their mistakes on this one, go into the Thursday night game against whoever it's going to be, whether it be Roswell or Clovis, win that game and continue to play Carlsbad again on Saturday. But again, one game at a time for us. And as far as this one goes, look, they had some improvements in certain areas. They did some nice things. Mackey, unfortunately, had some troubles in his foul shooting as far as free throws. Missed the last 3 of his, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Just wanted to see if you get some consistency out of somebody. Overall, I like the effort. It just Carlsbad just came in like a steamroller, especially in the fourth quarter. Was able to get the ball out of their hands and be able to score underneath the basket.
So again, the Eagles dropped to 14-12, their second loss in district, and Carlsbad improves to 19-7, and they are undefeated in district at 6-0. The Eagles at 4-2. So quick recap on the schedule for the district tournament next week. Hobbs will wait until Thursday to play the Roswell or Clovis. That'll be at Task Arena Thursday night. And then on Saturday, the district tournament championship. Now that's still important. I know again the district regular season champ has a little bit more clout to it in terms of seeding for the district or for the state tournament, but when it comes to that district tournament, you still want to win that one. That's a good thing to add to your resume, and then try to go out this season with a couple of wins on the semis and the district tournament championship. That could get you over the hump of a seed when you compare to a lot of those teams that are battling themselves out there up in Albuquerque. Some of the top ranked teams in the state are in the same district, so that's kind of an issue. Volcano Vista, Sandia, Trisco, those three have been on top of the Max Preps poll for quite a few weeks now. Cleveland, who we've played a couple of times already, is at number 4. Los Lunas 5, we played twice too, lost both. Lost to West Mesa, lost to Oregon Mountain a couple of times, and Rio Rancho we split with, and of course Carlsbad, number the 9 seed, or 9th place in the Max Preps poll, we played a few times. But what I like to see about this is we played these Albuquerque teams. This is probably the best schedule for going up against some top squads in the state that we've seen before the tournament gets underway. So whether or not you want to gripe about the record at this point, or not winning the regular season, you got to remember a lot of kids are young on this squad. Only about 1 or 2 of them had JV or varsity experience from the last year or so. So I mean, that's a tough schedule. APS Metro, a holiday tournament of course for Hobbs, and then a couple other tournaments like Artesia. That's a lot of quality games that we played, and all these teams, most of them are ranked in the top 10 right now. So good test. You got to go back to the drawing board, but you want to get that district tournament win if you can, and kind of beef up your resume. Yeah,
you're looking at some teams that are very deep in the bench. They got some seniors on it. Meanwhile, Hobbs, still learning, only has a couple of seniors that are playing still, has a not-so-deep bench, so they're working with everything they've got. They've come on strong at the end, and, there is no easy way to get through to the in the playoffs when you got Volcano Vista, Sandia. West Mesa actually just beat Sandia the other day. Cleveland's been very strong, and we played them twice. We had actually at one point some leverage or leeway against Cleveland, but Cleveland came back strong. They're even the one team that beat Volcano Vista, and they had that long streak going. You also have a Trisco Heritage, Los Lunas, Oregon Mountain we lost to twice. Carlsbad we just lost to again twice, and there's just no easy road to the championship for the Hobbs Eagles. All they have to do, though, is get one game at a time. The first one is going to be this Thursday at home, and hopefully the things will work out and be able to get back on track. I'd like to see a 20-point victory just to make sure that they know they can win a game strong and show a big showing. But until then, it's just Hobbs just learning as they go. And these kids, they are kids, and they are learning as it's just learning on the job. Baptize them through fire.
Yeah, definitely want to see that come out with a couple of wins there and get ready for the seeding going on this weekend, or next weekend, I should say, after the district tournament comes to a close. Also, earlier tonight, the Hobbs Lady Eagles coming up against the Carlsbad Cave Girls. The last score we had, they were up double digits in that one, right? And that was a winner would be going to a Monday matchup if Hobbs is to beat Carlsbad at Tasker Arena.
No, we got them as a victory for 59-28, the same score as the last time that the Hobbs Eagles played there. Of course, I'm talking about the boys against the Cavemen. Of course, the Cavemen had won that one 59-28, but this time around, the Lady Eagles were triumphant over the Cave Girls. 59-28, that means they're going to be pushing for a Monday game. Probably going to be it could actually be either in Clovis or in Roswell. Not sure where it's going to happen, but it's definitely going to be covered by, of course, Normark Broadcasting.
So, yeah, that will be for the number 1 district tournament seed there, and the winner will be at home Saturday, whether it be at Tasker or Carlsbad, and the loser would have to play on Thursday for a warm-up game for the semifinals. So, again, Normark Broadcasting will have that for you on YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com, on Facebook, etc. But wrapping it up here tonight, final score, the Eagles losing 17 to Carlsbad, 49-32. And before we take off, let's get our sponsors of Hobbs Eagle broadcasts throughout the season.
They are the following: Lee County State Bank, Thriftway, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Robinson & Associates, Devon Energy, First American Bank, Eunice Pump and Supply, Lasco Construction, and NMR Pipeline. We thank you all very much.
For Tiffany Stuber, Ron Gunner, myself, Ty Friend, thanks for joining us tonight, and we will see you coming up next week, Thursday night, for Hobbs Eagle Boys Basketball, semifinals of the district tournament from Task Arena. Have a great rest of a weekend out there.
You're clear.
Thanks a lot. See you later.
Drive safe, guys.
Okay, thanks.